Hello there, people of the internet. So I think I found a lens that I want to use in all of my filmmaking. So first off, I want to make it clear that I am not sponsored by SIRUI or any other product that I use. I bought this lens by myself and it was not sent to me by SIRUI. So I took this lens to a park with my friend Camille. We got some decent footage. Unfortunately, the sky was really hazy, so I didn't get a lot of those anamorphic flares that I was hoping to get. Although the light was pretty from the sunset, it didn't last very long because it was in January, so we didn't get very much footage. Regardless of that, we had a nice sunset, so the footage looks good, and the anamorphic aspect ratio mixed with the ProRes RAW looks really nice. Then I wanted to see what kind of footage I can get with this lens in harsh sunlight. So I went to a farm in the middle of the day and just kind of took some footage here and there. Again, this lens did not disappoint. And then recently, I got to film a Capoeira group during one of their rodas that they were hosting in a local park. So just really quick, Capoeira is a Brazilian martial art that integrates dancing into their fighting techniques. It's really cool stuff, and I got some great footage. I was even able to get some lens flares in there. So now that we got past the good bit, there are a few things that need to be addressed when using this lens on the Z6. I actually decided recently that I'm only going to use the Z6 for filmmaking, and for YouTube I'm going to be using my D500. Anyway, back to the lens. The lens is formatted for a Super 35 sensor, which is slightly bigger just on the ends of the sensor compared to the DX format sensors of Nikon. On your Z6, you can set your HDMI output for FX, which is full frame, or DX, which is their crop sensor format. If you film in FX format, you will see a heavy vignette and even see the barrel of the lens as you're filming. Alternatively, you can set your HDMI output to DX format, so it'll crop out all of that vignetting. Now there are advantages and disadvantages to filming in both formats. If you output to FX format, then you're able to crop in post, so you don't have to put so heavy of a crop as you would in DX mode. This in turn would give you a wider frame of view, which is really nice. So you need to keep in mind that you're cropping in post. And so when you're cropping in your 4K image, it's not really 4K anymore. You can export it out as 4K, but you're losing some resolution there. I know on Sony cameras you're able to manually crop in, so that's a good advantage when you're filming on a Sony camera. Unfortunately, Nikon doesn't have that. And I film on Nikon, so these are the two options that I have. Anyway, filming in that way and cropping in post does result in a slightly softer image, but it doesn't bother me too much. And you gotta keep in mind when you're filming, you're going to be seeing that vignette and the barrel of the lens the whole time. So you need to think about your framing in terms of inside that vignette. And as you may have already guessed, filming in DX mode gives you a sharper image. It's cropping in for you and creating that 4K image that you don't have to crop in post and reduce that resolution. I'm okay with the crop that the DX mode gives me. And when you look at the size of a DX sensor next to the size of a Super 35 sensor, you may think to yourself, that's not much of a crop at all. But take a look at these two images. Now, neither of these images are the size of a Super 35 sensor, but one of them is just cropped in slightly beyond the vignette, and the other is the DX crop. And the cool thing about cropping in post is that you very well may be able to get a slightly wider image than a Super 35 sensor, just getting slightly beyond those vignettes. I think you would probably crop in just a little tiny bit more on a Super 35. Not as much as the DX though. Anyway, I think that's cool that I can do that because I have a full frame sensor in my Z6. Another advantage to filming in DX crop mode on your Z6 with this lens is that when you're looking at your display, you don't see the vignette. It looks like a normal image and it is beautiful. So what I have done is that I tend to favor filming in DX mode. And then if I need a slightly wider angle, then I'll switch to FX mode so I can just create that wider angle in post. In the end, I really like this lens, and it may very well be my only lens that I use moving forward. That of course can change, and of course I'll probably need a wider angle. So maybe not the only lens, but it will probably be my main lens. And for those of you that are more focused on build quality, the build quality is fantastic. The casing is metal, it feels very sturdy, and I saw a review of it on another channel that said that on Nikon, the mount that they have has this like little wiggle, and so it can kind of be a little off. Yeah, I didn't have that at all. The mount that I got with it fits perfectly on my Z6. So that may have been an older mount that they sold with it, like back when they started selling it, like I think like a year ago or so. But the lens mount that I got fits perfectly, no wiggle. It is just stuck on there really, really good. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode. Let me know what you think. Have you tried this lens out? Did you like it? Are you interested in purchasing this lens? Not that that really matters, but it's a cool lens. Something in my eye. Probably an eyelash. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe, and even come back for another watch if you'd like. And now that all is said and done, we're on to the next one.